Are you kind of freaking out about email marketing? Totally get it. I've been there. It feels like you're sending emails out into the abyss, and you're probably wondering whether anyone is reading them and if it's even worth your time. Well, I am going to share one amazing email marketing tip that literally changes everything when it comes to sending emails. Are you ready? Let's dive in. But first, let's touch on why it works. When you apply this tip into your emails, it is going to increase engagement. And when we increase engagement, we are getting in front of more of our ready to buy customers, because the people who are engaged with your content are typically the people who are really listening and looking for an opportunity to buy. Right? They're looking for a solution to a problem. And if you're the person that is building that trust with them, then they're more than likely to want to connect with you. And then when you hear this stat, I think you're going to start to understand why it's so important to apply this tip that I'm going to share with you. So it used to be that it would take around 1 to 14 touch points before someone converted, right? Converted. I don't know why we use that, but before someone basically took an action that you wanted them to take. Now it's around 40 touch points because we are inundated everywhere, and not just in email, on social media, in our personal lives, in our day to day lives. We are constantly bombarded. So, in order for someone to take an action that you want them to take, they're going to need a lot of touch points before they're ready. However, 2% of your audience at any given time are ready to buy customers. In other words, they are ready. And it doesn't matter how many touch points they've had with you, if you show up at the right time with the right message and an offer to back up that message, then they're going to buy from you. So, whenever you're crafting any content, particularly when it comes to email, make sure you're speaking to your ready to buy customers always, because everybody else will level up based on that content. But if you're always speaking to the people who are in the 98% of your audience, the people who are just getting started, then they are not the people who are ready to buy, right? We are looking for ready to buy customers. Now, that alone should give you plenty to go off and work on, right? Like that should really be starting to get your brain going. But I really do want to share this tip with you. So let's go ahead and dive into what it is. And basically, it is learning to segment and personalize your emails. Now, I know that you probably already have an idea of what that is, but let's dig a little bit deeper. And I'm going to share some stats with you. I'm going to switch to sharing my screen in a second so that you can see what these actual stats look like when you put segmentation and personalization into practice. But let's break it down. What am I talking about when I talk about segmentation? Basically, segmentation is when you create a segment in your email list. Now, this could be through tagging, it could be through buyer history, it could be through any number of different ways that you choose to segment. Personally, I am segmenting based on tags and based on actions taken, as in clicks. So those are the two main ways that I am segmenting my audience. But then I take it a little bit further and I segment based on whether someone is a customer or not, right? I'm also segmenting based on how they've joined my email list. Depending on the email platform that you're using, you may or may not be able to do this relatively easily. I personally am using Kit, formerly ConvertKit, and they make all the things that I just talked about super simple, super easy. So that is segmentation. Basically, segmenting your email list into lots of little buckets so that you can personalize the experience that they are having with you. So think about it this way: you do not have to have a newsletter going out that goes out to everybody. You can actually set up automated sequences that speak to people based on the customer journey that they're on, right? So based on where they are at, rather than it being the time that you want to sell something. So that's how you can start to really use segmentation. And then when you really think about personalization, we're talking about the personalization within the email, and it goes beyond the hey Lise, right? That personalization, most of the time people are doing that, but I'm talking about the personalization that takes it a level deeper. So there are a couple of different ways that you can personalize. So depending on your email platform, you can have different blocks showing in an email based on the different segments that you've got, or based on different tags, or based on different actions that someone has take. They're going to see a different piece of content compared to someone who doesn't have that tag or hasn't taken that action. So you can do that through different blocks, you can do it through snippets, you can do it through tags, lots of different ways that you can personalize the email as far as the interior. But you can also personalize by the experience that you offer. Now, I do this in different scenarios, and the tool that I use to do this is called Video Ask. Now, with a Video Ask, what I can do is embed a link into an email and invite people to click that. And then that takes that person to a one-on-one conversation with me. They can either record a video, leave an audio message, or send me a text message. It's up to them. And I typically respond to them with a video, and it's personalized. And every single time I do this, the response back from the person is typically something along the lines of, I wasn't expecting you to come back to me, one, so quickly, and two, with a video. So it's very personalized. Now, I am all about creating an unscalable business. And what I mean by that is I personally love talking to my audience. I love that one-on-one connection. So I have zero desire to hand that off to a coach that I have trained in all the things that I do. So when I say unscalable, I just simply mean that if something happens to me, then yeah, my business is probably not going to be doing all that well. However, it actually is, because I have also set up passive income funnels within my email platform. Now, that is a topic for another video. And if you want me to record a video about that information, comment below with the word passive. And if I get enough comments, I will go ahead and record that video and share a little bit more about that. But back to segmentation, personalization. If you want to do this for yourself, I'm going to show you in a second kind of what that looks like in my own Kit account. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of statistics so you can just kind of see the power behind segmentation and personalization. Okay, we are going to switch screens and I will show that to you right now. Now we are looking inside my ConvertKit account, or my Kit account as I now show them. And I want to show you the difference between segmentation and not segmentation. Although at its core, I actually segment anyway. So this is probably going to show you a couple of different scenarios. So I have a segment called Daily Email Community. Now that is a big portion of my email list. So there's people who are in my world, but there are people who are excluded from that email because they are going through a funnel. So other things to think about as you start diving into this is the experience that your customer is going through, or the subscriber is going through. I don't want to overwhelm people too much, and I send daily emails except for Saturdays. So I definitely want to make sure someone's gone through the welcome sequence at a minimum. So my daily email community consists of around 6147, and sometimes I will exclude people from this, all those types of things. But what I want to draw your attention to is these three emails here. So we've got TCM, we've got a $9 goodie bag, and then we've got what's cooking. And then you'll see under each one when I'm segmenting. And so you can see here it says TCM interest list, 389 people, 53% open rate. So that is stat number one you want to pay attention to. 20% click rate. Stat number two you want to pay attention to. And then we've obviously got the actual number of clicks, and then if there were any subscribers. Now, why might this be important? Well, this was an email that went out to people who subscribed to an interest list, right? They actually took some actions that told me they were interested in my Cultivate program. And so that's why they're on this interest list. And then I was sending a sales email. This was a very targeted sales email, and it is got great open rates and it's got amazing click rates. Now that converted into 5 people joining, and you can kind of do the math on that. But this is what happens when you segment down and you personalize that experience based on whatever it is that they've done. And then same with the $9 goodie bag. This was a reminder, hey, if you haven't had an opportunity to grab it, then this is probably the time to go and do that. And that was because these people had not clicked on the link. So there's lots of different ways that you can segment and you can personalize based on your own email platform. But I really just wanted to show you what the power is behind it. And the more that you segment, the more that you're going to personalize the process for your people, the higher chance you have of making daily sales. Now, this takes a bit of time to set up, but honestly, once you put in the work up front, it is done. Now, remember, I said passive income funnels, those are the power behind everything else, and they run for you 24/7. These are more instant, in the moment emails that we're looking at here, but the ongoing stuff, now that is magic. But on your screen right now, you are going to see another way that you can use email marketing in your business right now to make daily sales. And that'll be popping up on your screen right now. I'll see you in that video.